What's going on, guys? How you doing? TK coming at you. I just want to give you guys a little bit of background. We all have a story. My story is simply that I wanted to change my life. I've always had dreams of working for myself, being my own supervisor, my own boss, just being able to dictate my own time. That's where my mind has always been. I know a lot of us are products of this educational indoctrination, and once we become 18 or once we finish the indoctrination process, usually by the time you graduate from high school, but for some of us, by the time you graduate from college, the only thing you want, the only way your mind works is trying to find a way to become a perfect cog in the wheel. I mean, think about it. The average person just wants to be a part of some type of system, in terms of who they can work for. And that's the way our system is designed to teach you. Your brain just says, okay, I graduated college, who can I work for? And you end up working for someone until you die, and that's it. That's life. And most people just accept that. I've never been that way. I've always wanted to work for myself, and my desire was always to set my own time. So because I didn't come from a educational system that taught me how to do that, I had to fight to learn the process of accomplishing that. Now, I don't feel like I know I'm not there, because I'm still getting up every morning at 3 a.m. and I'm still working for someone. But the issue is, because my mind works that way, I ended up asking the right questions, seeking those answers. That led me from one thing to the next. So working as a contractor, it's very volatile. At any given moment, their contract could end. And being in that type of situation, of course, led me to wanting to find a better way to earn money. And that's what led me to trying to find ways to make my money work for me. And then what in today's current market most effectively puts my money to work. Of course, that's what led me to network marketing or leverage systems, and not being able to influence people to do something financially smart led me to trying to find passive systems that are still in leverage but don't require me to recruit a team. So everybody talks about, there's no passive income in network marketing. Well, first thing you have to understand and break the indoctrination is that network marketing is a counter distribution system to retail. But itself, as an industry, is just a distribution model for products and services, period. Just like you love and are taught that the only way to acquire products and services is through retail, well, network marketing is just another way to distribute something to the public. So there is a such thing as passive income in network marketing if and only if you have an asset as your product. So that's where I started focusing. I said, well, let me just really get into the trenches and find strong companies that have assets as their product. Well, even doing that, I didn't really get successful at convincing other people that assets are a good idea. That's a counterproductive or counter thought process in most people's head. They're like, assets? What are assets? I was only taught to focus on liabilities. So you can't really convince someone that assets are a good idea, and it's hard to gain traction when the asset is your product. So I said, you know what? Okay, let me get away from network marketing in terms of recruiting. Let me say, I'm not trying to recruit anybody. Let me just focus on building assets in the bank of me. So I decided to cut my own bank. I focus on building assets, and I don't really care about who else builds assets or who else joins my team. Even though I have the opportunity to get paid referral commissions for getting other people involved. And of course, that led me to the educational side of training, because once you have the information, it's almost a responsibility to empower other people. Now, a lot of people are on the Western mentality of self, where they're like, fuck everybody. It's not my responsibility to have someone understand that an asset is going to help you. If you're not smart enough to fucking realize that assets are like something you need to have in your financial life, then maybe you don't deserve to have them. But I say, okay, well, let me take the opposite approach and say that it's not that people don't want assets. I think it's more that people don't understand why you should structure your finances around assets. You know, why assets should be your financial foundation. And it's the lack of understanding that really causes people to fail. You're not held back by what you do. You're held back by what you don't know. And the main thing that I see is that people are existing in ego, existing in arrogance, and they really don't want to learn anything. They don't want to fucking know what an asset is, and they're too arrogant to realize that they don't know what a fucking asset is. So it gets frustrating when you deal with people like that, but you have to fucking get to the point where you jump on the right side of success, or you jump in the sea of failure. You know, you get to the fence and you pick a side, and you know, that's what it boils down to. So really, I try to get into the trenches with you guys, and I try to give you some substance, and I try to counter attack the poverty mindset. You know, I always say that I try to slap the poverty mindset or punch the poverty mindset in the face every chance I have, because I don't like ignorant people, and I hate arrogant people that exist in ego and think that they know every fucking thing. Because if you knew better, you do better. If you had the master economic key, then you wouldn't be a slave to someone else on a job. If you were doing so fucking good and whatever the fuck you do, then you would have time freedom and truly be able to dictate your life. But there's very few in the 1% category. There's very few people who are financially free. But the people who are financially broke are the arrogant assholes that tell you they know every fucking thing. And those are the ones that you can't reach because they hold fast to their negative programming. So it's one of those things. But really, you know, I'm here to help. I just don't have a lot of patience for people who don't have a lot of open-mindedness. So think about positioning yourself, as I have, in the paradigm shift, because people don't realize that things have changed. Financially, things have changed. The shit that you were taught growing up don't work anymore, and you're too stupid to realize that it don't work anymore. Go to school, get a job, get a degree. That shit don't work. Because of the fact that the income gap between the rich and the poor has increased to the point where you're not paid enough on that job, and you still find yourself struggling. So in order to survive today, you're in a position where, hey, I got to do something different. You know, I have a master's degree and I still can't find a job. I'm still being paid like the McDonald's worker, and I'm not making it. So the suggestion was, okay, boom, let me put some money towards working for me. Let me put some money in investments that actually bring money back into my house. And I'm like, okay, in 40 years, if you're going to work, no matter if it's a little money or a lot of money, let's make some of that money work for you. And that really gets into setting yourself up for a better financial future. Now, the next video that I make, I'll get into what I'm doing to set myself up for a better financial future and what strategies I'm using. Because typically, I give you an overview in these videos, and then I hope that I grab your fucking attention, and then you actually talk to me. You inbox me, you email me, whatever the fuck you want to do. But that never fucking happens. I'll say, hey, I'm doing 7 different strategies to make my money get a job. I'm using 7 different systems to actually bring money back into my house. And everybody's like, wow, that sounds good. I don't want to fucking do it for myself, so I'm not going to contact him. Why the fuck should I do that? I'm just going to listen to the video and be like, okay, whatever. I don't have any systems in my life, but, you know, I'm going to leave it at that. So you have to do something for you. Me offering to teach you what systems I've researched is one thing. But if you got no systems in your life, then why are you sitting on the fence talking about, yeah, that sounds good? I'm going to leave y'all with that.